drinks were fun.
He's appalled.
Yeah,
stormed out.
He couldn't handle this anymore. Yeah, I can hear you. Try and come at me.
You're not going to spend a bunch of time on the Funko Pop game?
Oh, fuck no.
Don't mix concrete in a stainless steel mixing bowl.
Oh. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 511. That's 200 more than 311, everyone's favorite episode. I'm your host, John_Danger, joined by my beautiful and lovely co-hosts.
Matt Haig.
TJ May.
Yeah, and we like to open up the podcast by doing damage to our bodies. Particularly, I do damage to my body because my two co-hosts have decided not to buy terrible drinks that they see in the grocery store.
I
have a Coke Zero. So
this is
I specifically went to Mariano's.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kroger, whatever, because I know I saw those 3 Mountain Dews. I was going to get all 3 today,
and you didn't.
And they didn't have them.
Really,
they didn't have them anymore.
Yeah, I went to a grocery
so
store and they didn't have them either. Oh, wait, didn't have them anymore? They had them before?
Yeah, they had them before.
They're sold out?
I saw them at Mariano's. Yeah, they just don't have them. I don't know if they're not stocking them anymore or
too popular
because they hate America.
Yeah, USA.
Whatever. I bought 3 half gallons of ice cream, so instead for the same price.
Nice.
So you've let them melt. You've let them melt, and you're going to drink those on the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah,
that reminds me of back when I used to room with Adam and Lance. They used to make milkshakes by melting ice cream and then using that as the liquid to make the milkshake.
So then, do they blend that with more ice cream?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's kind of brilliant.
It was really good. They were really good milkshakes. I mean, it's just straight ice cream, but like in a drinkable consistency.
Yeah.
It's genius.
So come see me at my new food
for you.
truck where I make those milkshakes.
Mhm.
And
All right.
I could feel the stomach crap.
Like a
cramps
horror movie, a jump scare after you've forgotten about the villain for so long. At the back of my fridge, I found a drink that I bought a long time ago that I never drank.
Oh.
Do you remember?
I am scared.
Is it the other
No.
Pepsi that I don't remember?
No. It is the other Skittles drink.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I bought a tropical Skittles and a regular Skittles, and I didn't buy the sour Skittles drink. But this is the tropical Skittles. The first Skittles drink was very on the scale of what is the best fruity drink, non-carbonated? Is it like fruit punch, Hawaiian punch, something like that?
Yeah, probably.
Cooler.
On the Ecto Cooler Hawaiian punch on one end. On the other end is just Dimetap cough syrup. The Skittles was much more on the cough syrup end. This one is neon blue, an unearthly blue, and it's not carbonated. I'm gonna drink it. It has a bouquet. I can smell. Oh, what is that? Is it passion fruit? It's got that. I think it's passion fruit for sure. Maybe some pineapple. We're gonna take a jug. A slug. I'm gonna take a slug of the jug.
A jug?
Jug salad. You gotta slurp it to really aerate that.
It is. Yeah. Let me do my away from the mic. I'll do my wine tasting. Gotta coat
We
the
need
tongue.
that Foley.
Mm.
Yep.
Mm. This is significantly better than the other one. Let's see here. It is apple juice and natural flavors. So the only real juice in this is apple juice. It's 1% juice, so it's mostly water and sugar. Blue number 1 dye, Orthodox Union Kosher. So you can drink this on the Sabbath. Refrigerate after opening. Does this have a Best Buy date? Because I bought this a while ago.
2 months ago.
Best if used by. I can't read it. It is kind of falling off. Mar 23, 2025. So plenty of time. I might actually finish this because I when you think of generic Skittles, the fruits for a drink, that doesn't really make sense. tropical
Yeah.
fruits in a drink, that makes a little bit more sense because it's a little bit like an alcohol free, what do you call it? Like a mixed drink,
Daiquiri.
it would be like something you would get at like what used to be Cheeseburger in Paradise, where you get the giant fruity drinks that have alcohol in them, but like don't.
Yeah.
I remember
Just
going
the bright blue liqueurs that are full of sugar.
exactly. I remember going to Cheeseburger in Paradise when I was in college when it existed. I don't even know if that restaurant chain exists anywhere anymore. Probably somewhere.
No, I don't think so.
Well, anyway, but they had like crazy huge frozen drinks that were like rainbow colored. You'd have like a red layer, a yellow layer, like a green layer, and then they would put like a little gummy cheeseburger on top of like a a little like a half or like a quarter orange with a little parasol, so it's like a little cheeseburger sitting on an island. And they were like $15 drinks, but it was like a thing that we did after we did shows in college theater.
Yeah.
And I definitely got served their alcohol before I was 21. They didn't card me because I was with a group of much older people. So it was just like...
and it was always like after strike, so it was pretty late. And
they didn't care.
The wait staff just didn't give a fuck anymore.
I mean, how much alcohol really is in this giant... Like, I did not taste the alcohol, so... Anyway. Well, I loved that place. The food was not great, but the drinks were fun, and it was always, for some reason, that was the place we went to hang out. I don't know why. It's not close.
No.
But I think
it's actually really far away.
I think that people liked it because it was kind of close to the Beltline, which is a main road that goes around the town. And there was tons of parking, and it was open late. So it was just like, and they served food.
It was open,
and I think they served food pretty late, like till like midnight.
Yeah,
so we could still get like a
probably
cheeseburger at like 11 o'clock, which was kind of the key because a lot of bars are open, but they don't serve food after like 9
they
for some reason.
Close the kitchen.
Hell no, we want shitty burgers.
Sadly, there are no Cheeseburger in Paradises, but I believe there are still Margaritavilles. You can go to.
So there was so now like the tradition after doing a show is I was going to like Wendy's because Wendy's is open till like midnight, and I always get a Frosty. So cheeseburger, there really aren't any that are open anymore?
I don't think so. I think
Oh no, the last location closed in COVID. COVID killed Cheeseburger in Paradise. They at the highest.
No, you just have to have a cheeseburger in purgatory.
2013, it had the maximum locations of 2013. Fate liquidation. Let me see. Oh wait, I'm just seeing how they died because I'm assuming they got bought by some. What do you call it? Private equity firm that like sold all the real estate and then leased it back to the restaurants.
We know the Bright Sun Films story.
Oh, I don't know about that one, but I just know that is
just every time a private equity firm comes in, it's like the end. Buy it, sell off what you can, make it worse and worse.
Acquisition by Luby's. That's a restaurant corporation, so I don't think it's private equity. But did Luby's get bought by a private equity firm? That's just how it goes. No, I think it just seems like they sucked at keeping restaurants open. Because they also had like Fuddruckers as well, and those all closed. Anyway. I'm sorry. It's
James Buffett could not support 2 full restaurant chains.
No one. Yeah, the Jimmy Buffett brand. Alone. Oh, there's somebody archive.org to the website. You can go to the Cheeseburger in Paradise website. Oh, I love it. We're gluten friendly on the island. Please tell me the menu has been preserved. I'm clicking. Response to COVID-19. Oh, no. Okay, download the menu. Yes, the menu is saved. God, shit, I love archive.org, man. I tell you, it's the greatest thing ever. So they had gluten-friendly premium hamburgers and handhelds. Of course, because if you don't want a burger, you can get a wrap.
You can also hold a burger with your hands.
No, the drinks menu isn't on here. This is just the food from Indianapolis. Oh, man. Oh, it's the gluten-friendly menu as well. It's not the full menu. Weird. Wait, main menu. Sorry. Give me a second. I think it took me to the gluten menu. Yeah. Yes. Get the full menu. I just want drinks menu though. Can you put a drinks menu online? Did people do that?
Sometimes.
I don't know.
I just don't. I don't see it. I don't see a drinks menu. That's really all I would care about. I see main menu, hurricane wings, cheeseburgers, salads, island specialties. Yeah, I don't see.
I just remember lots of fried pickles.
Actually, you know what? I think that you're not allowed to put drinks on like menus, online alcoholic drinks, unless you're like, you may have to like age gate your site or something, or maybe like a COPPA thing where you have to have like certain things set up to be able to show that, other than just like brand names that are like, you know what I mean? Because like if you go to like a Budweiser.com, I think you have to say you're 21 or older to enter it.
Oh yes,
that's what I'm assuming. That sucks.
That's stupid.
I want to look this up. Cheeseburger in Paradise drinks menu. Somebody on Pinterest has it. There's a Cheeseburger in Paradise Inc., which is, I think, something that someone made afterwards. I just really liked it. It was fun. The drinks were fun. Wow, these drinks. This takes me back. $7 for a premium cocktail. What's a premium cocktail right now? Like $12, $13?
I assume. Yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, last time I was at Mint Mark and they had premium cocktails. I think the cheap one was like $9, and the rest were like $12, $13. I mean, that's just Biden, Joe Biden. It's all his fault.
He's got to open up that strategic liquor reserve that we've got.
If any president were to have that, he would. Because we all know.
We know
much like George W. Bush, the president that people said that they would most like to kick back and drink a beer with, who was someone who didn't drink. Donald Trump is also someone who doesn't drink.
That is true.
So there you go. So kick back and have a beer with Mr. Biden.
No thanks.
That's like, I mean, he sundowns at like 8:00, so you're pretty much just kind of sitting there while he's barely cognizant of what's happening. So
can't believe we're in for another 4 years of one of those two geriatric fucks.
Yeah. One of them survived COVID too. That was honestly one of the greatest days on the internet of all time. When Donald Trump got COVID. And he was like trying to pretend to not cough, and you could totally tell he was coughing. And he was like, I'm fine, even though I was in the hospital for like 3 hours where they gave me fluids and things because I was almost dying.
Like the antibody treatment when it was still like brand new and nobody was getting it.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to more fun topics that aren't Skittles drinks or Sprites. I want to talk. I want TJ to talk.
Yeah.
I've got a topic. I don't think we talked about this. Driving permit, I have written down. TJ.
Oh. Yeah. So my middle daughter is taking driver's ed right now.
Okay. How does driver's ed work in Illinois?
So
Because it's
that
different
is the
in
thing.
every state.
I
It
was
is different in
under
every
the
state.
impression that people from Illinois were not taught how to drive, and they just were let loose in Wisconsin.
Ayo,
Yeah, that is
got
definitely
you,
what I
fucker.
heard up north.
fibs.
So down here, or at least the way it works now, is you have to take the well, I'll say written exam, but it's on a computer. You take the written exam to get your permit. You do not have to have a class for that.
Okay,
But you
that was the
but
same
you
in
take-
Wisconsin. I remember getting the permit before I knew how to drive.
Well, yeah, but I had like an in-class class with no driving, just instruction
Yeah,
before I got my permit.
I mean possibly, yeah, but I mean I remember
Yeah.
I didn't have to pass like any driving test or go to any lessons. I just had to
Correct.
I just had to be like, yep, stop at a stop sign.
Yep. I
use
took a
the
paper test.
signals. Yeah, exactly.
I took a paper test and had to take a full class before getting my permit.
Yeah.
Down here, it's just you take the test. So you just learn on your own and you take the test. Then, if you're under 18, you have to do your driver's ed class, which is half in-class instruction and and a quarter driving. It's technically 2/3, 1/3.
Now, do they teach driver's ed in school?
You can get it in schools, or you can get it private.
Yeah, we did it. We
So-
had it in school. Every sophomore got to choose to take it if you wanted to. Otherwise, you would take a study hall.
Well, I was up in bumfuck Wisconsin. We didn't have it at our school, at least
Yeah.
at the time.
But you had to pay
so-
extra. Like, you had to pay whatever the extra fee that they were paying the teacher that was doing driver's ed lessons.
Correct. So yeah, it's a 6-week course. So we're in the middle of a 6-week course where we take a break next week and then 3 more weeks. But I've had to be in the passenger seat for now another kid getting their hours.
Better
in.
or worse?
Both. But let's just say more confidence than the first one.
More confidence isn't always good, though.
No, it's not always good.
Yeah.
Let's just say I am visibly calm and I am clenching my butt cheeks all the time.
Yeah, I love the driver's ed, like
but
special
honestly-
cars that have the brake on the passenger
Yeah.
side too.
Yeah. Wish I had that.
Yeah.
But honestly, and not just because she's right there and can hear me from here, she's doing fine.
Okay.
She's doing fine. We've actually given her more challenge, more driving
Yeah.
than we've given the other one, because the other one was just way too scared to drive, and even now still is.
Yeah.
Like we'll do it, but doesn't like doing it.
Yeah.
This one likes to drive.
Yeah. I love driving.
Well, maybe not likes it, but is taking to it better. So yeah. But at the end of the day, it's just
So the driver's ed, the driver's licensing test,
yes.
is that done? That's done at like a facility,
That's done at like a state facility.
and
So
they have like a course and everything, or do they go out on the streets?
they go on the streets.
Yeah, that's what we did too. We drove around
Yeah.
town.
Yep.
I had the worst. I've probably told the story 100 times on the podcast, but I had the absolute worst driver's test person. He was the guy that everyone said always failed people.
Yep.
And he was very unhelpful. Like, because he would be like, take a right here. And I'd be like into the parking lot or the street up there. And he was like, you choose. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
You can't just like have me try and think of where I'm going while also trying to not fuck up the rules.
Exactly.
Like, come on, dude. He
Now,
was terrible. And he didn't fail me because he counted wrong. I was 2 points away from failing. And I think he knew he wanted, because he double checked his math.
Now, as the oldest member of the podcast, Wisconsin was going through law changes as I was getting my driver's license. So they upped the requirement to 30 hours of driving right before I got my license.
Yeah, I remember
But,
this. I remember you had to
when
drive with a supervised parent or someone with a license over age
Correct.
of 21 or 18 or something.
Yep, 10 of your hours had to be night driving.
Yeah.
And time with an instructor counted double. I think I remember that.
Got it.
But I was also, they staggered some of the law changes, and one of the law changes that they were doing at the time was they were changing it to there wasn't a certain amount of time you had to have your permit before getting your license. They changed it to having your permit for 6 months. And I took my test, my road test, where if I had failed, I wouldn't be able to immediately schedule, because starting September 1st that year, that's when they switched to having to have your license for 6 months, or your permit for 6 months, and I had got my permit in May of that year. So I would have had to wait till November. So I'm glad I got my license before the law change. But now it's 9 months, at least down here in Illinois.
Jeez.
I think it is 9 months up there. 9 months and 50 hours of driving, 10 of which at night. But with the change to 9 months, you can get your permit as early as 15, just straight 15. Which is why we started this early, because we actually got the permit just after she turned 15. So this one's going to have the permit for almost a full year, because won't be 16 in time.
My school had the most amazing thing. Before we got out on the road with the instructor, we had to spend time in the simulator, which was a room with maybe 16 stations where you have your little driver's seat set up, and they would project a video that was playing from a giant laser disc of just driving footage from the perspective of the front of the car. Yeah. And to this day, I don't know if they were actually getting data back from our stations, or if we were just Maggie Simpsoning along with it.
My mother-in-law talks about the simulator. She had to do the simulator.
Yeah.
So it's a thing that's been around for a while.
They gave us a piece of software.
Yeah, I think we were pretty close to the end of it because it wasn't around for very much longer.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was Sierra was the company. Driver's education. Google is completely useless now. I'll never find this. Driver's education game. Yes, I found it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sierra made it. Sierra makes a lot
does
make other racing driving racing games, but
drivers anyway, I think I found it somewhere, and it gave me the biggest sense of nostalgia. So Sierra did Driver's Education 98, but that would have been pretty... Although I guess that would have been what it would have been. Because I learned... it was 2001, so this would have only been...
I turned 16
Oh, there's a 99 edition. That's probably the one, then. Okay. Ooh, it's oldgames.com. Old-games.com. I love it when a website allows you to pay them to download.
Oh,
that seems legal. You can download it for free, but
gotta wait 5 seconds.
Exactly. It's a little sketch because. All right, so it's Driver's Education 99. I remember liking that game. And I also think that, that is a game that is, part of the reason why I enjoy games like that. If that makes sense. Because, it was by fucking Dynamics, the company that made Star Siege Tribes.
There's an archive.org page.
Yeah.
Does it have a download?
All right, everyone, we're gonna hear about 15 to 20 seconds of a YouTube channel, because I'm gonna click on a video so I can actually look at it. But it's gonna be what's a YouTube intro? We're just gonna get that for a second.
Dubstep and then what's up YouTube?
No, this didn't have that. Okay, yeah, it's like a 2D dashboard, but PlayStation 1 era, 3D models of cars. Oh, they're just like photos that have been wrapped onto polygonal models. It looks so jank. Anyway, I remember playing the shit out of that game. And like, it's literally just like lessons are like drive to here and then stop at all the stoplights and wait for other cars and put your turn signal on to turn. It's like playing Grand Theft Auto, like obeying all of the speed limits and traffic rules.
Don't drink and drive, it says on the cover.
Yeah. So Sierra's Driver Education 99. That was the oh, this one has an intro. Let me play it. It's playing now. It's just like a bunch of like camera clicks and then retro digital Rolex spinning around. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, it's just I love this. I'm gonna
Everyone
have to download
should just
this.
stop making YouTube videos. Just don't do it.
Well, it's like just don't don't you. Everyone, I saw. What was this? Sorry, time to get on an old man rant. Sorry, I just wanted to point out, survey by YouTube found that 65% of younger internet users, this is Gen Z, so people aged, which it defined as people between the ages of 14 and 24, describe themselves as video content creators.
Yeah, you're not.
I mean, you are. I am. I'll put a video out. But is that something that you should define yourself as? No. Because I think the content creator like thing was more, I don't know, like it's so democratized now with the access to ability to make stuff that like, yeah, anyone can be. Whereas like, what was it, like 15 years ago, you actually like had to have shit to be able to do it. Like when it started. Oh,
yeah.
15 years is so long. Because 15 years would have been 2009. And I don't think YouTube really kicked off to like, what, 2011-ish, 2010-ish. Anyway, so like 13 years ago. Yeah, there would be the difference between someone recording some shit on a webcam with a shitty mic, which is what I did as a child, versus like having a professional setup. Now, like your fucking iPhone shoots professional quality video. Like you see professional
and like
YouTube.
Most people have a basic understanding of like a 3-point light setup and how to frame a shot and stuff. We had to learn that.
I have a 2-point light setup.
That's like the
I have a light back there and a light here, so I got corners.
The folding ideas thing, like the reason Angry Video Game Nerd was such a big thing was like he actually knew how to do film stuff.
Yeah.
And that was a rare thing at the time.
Correct. It was like, here's the guy doing the dumb shit that we all do, you know, yelling at stupid bad video games for fun with your friends. But he went to film school, so he knows like how to set up a camera and edit footage. So you get a real thing.
And now it's just you could do that in an app on your phone.
The Folding Ideas video was mid.
I enjoyed it.
I haven't
I
finished
don't know
it
what
yet.
the point was. We're all James Rolfe a bit?
No. The point was James Rolfe is Folding Ideas guy's wavelength.
Got it.
You know, it's
Yeah. Oh, I get it now. I mean, I guess that's the point. Is he's like a litmus test. How you look at Angry Video Games Nerd is that it is kind of sad though. Like his channel. I mean, he I like that he's just like, I don't know what he does now because he doesn't do anything anymore. I guess he's just retired. You know, like he's probably made enough money that. It's just crazy, and you see this with a lot of YouTube content creators that have been around for a long time, is their channel just slowly just becomes more best of stuff and less new stuff because they got the algorithm. They got to put a video out every week, you know, but we can't like record something every week. So we got to have like, here's a best of compilation that we release, which in a way is fair because I think there's a lot of leeching on YouTube of third parties making best of compilations of people and then getting hundreds of thousands of views off that. Why not? Why not get it from
Yes.
the source? But anyway,
And then you have Miniature Nerd, the hardest working Let's Player on YouTube, putting out, I think, 5 videos every single week.
that's fucking
It's
crazy.
ridiculous.
Like Game Grumps does a video every day, but they have like a team of like 30 people.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the way to do it right there. You just
Yeah.
you just show up to record, and then they do everything else. They edit. Yeah. So anyway, so YouTubing's fun. For fun and
Yeah.
profit. Everyone loves it. Speaking of great YouTubers.
Yeah, just keep feeding those AI generation algorithms.
Yeah.
You know, free
So
content for the beast.
Speaking of Matt's favorite YouTuber, Dr. Disrespect, Instant Hot Water.
Is he a YouTuber? I thought he was just a mixer.
No. So he was on Twitch and got. So let's go through the story.
Yep.
From the start.
Can I just say first, I am astounded that someone who named themselves Dr. Disrespect has done some bad things.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with his persona being the way it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, obviously this guy sucks because his character is a guy that sucks.
Yeah.
And it's like hyper machismo, like bullshit.
Famous TwitchCon bathroom videoer, Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah. And then I'm going to wrap this into the game I was playing before this and stuff because I just want to rant.
Okay.
You know, it's me. I got to get my weekend evening rant off every other week. So, Dr. Disrespect 2020, I think it was 2020? Yeah.
It's 4 years ago. I know.
Well,
that.
we can't start even before that. It was the year before he got banned from E3 because he recorded video in the bathroom.
Yep.
And Twitch gave him like a slap on the wrist ban, like a week or something. And then, you know, so he was kind of on thin ice. A lot of Twitch higher up, we found out through leaks, more leaks and whatnot, were very disliked him. And there was a lot of back and forth amongst the moderation team and ownership of the site on whether or not they wanted to get rid of him because they don't like him. Which is fair because he really towed the line. That was like his entire thing. He's edgy. And what do 12 to like 17-year-old boys love? Edgy shit. You know, that I loved edgy shit. You know, what can you do? I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog, I mean, Shadow exists for a reason. You know, like people like edgy. Knuckles before that. Knuckles was before Shadow, you know. But people like edgy shit. And so in 2020, he got banned from Twitch, and he said he didn't know why, which is probably partly true. He knew why, but they didn't tell him why. So he's like, I don't know what terrible thing I did caused this to happen.
There's just so many.
Exactly. And then he signed an NDA, and they paid out the rest of his multi-million-dollar contract because they had him like contracted to only stream on Twitch, which is, again, that's people that make a living on Twitch. That is how you actually make a living on Twitch, is getting paid from Twitch, not just making money off of your Twitch channel, because that is pittance.
And merchandising.
Yeah, merchandising, exactly. You can't make money just off of that because those sites, YouTube, TikTok, all those, they're taking their cut, and it's a big cut. And the advertisement that they share with you get a pittance of that. They take the lion's share of that, so you have to do your own ads, anyway. Like Mercury, you know, she's like, I fix it stuff. Exactly. You got your own sponsorships outside.
You gotta write a book and sell a ton of copies.
Exactly. That's how you make the money. Like the video is how people know who you are, but you make money other ways now. And then I think that's the balance that a lot of people have made. I mean, giant YouTube channels still rake in ridiculous amounts of money. You know, it's Game Grumps, for example. They pay a staff, you know, with that money, you know. But like, you know, it's the medium-sized, you know, less than 1 million subscriber kind of, you know, getting 40, 50,000 views on a video. You just can't make money off that anymore. You can't make a living off that where you used to be able to. So anyway, he had hundreds of thousands of people watching his Twitch streams, fired for no reason. Everyone was like, why? And he was like, I don't know. I can't tell you why because I don't know why. And they made me sign an NDA, and they signed an NDA that they wouldn't say why. So we're never going to know, and I'm going to be on YouTube. And so then he live streamed on YouTube. He got sponsorships from a billion things. He was like NFL, NBA, like every esport sport had like a fucking Dr. Disrespect skin, you know, like all this shit. Like he's monetizing his likeness, which is just guy with mullet and glasses that like acts like tough bro guy. You know what I mean? Like anyway, something a 12-year-old would love to aspire to be, and that a 39-year-old thinks is the most cringiest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, you know, kids, you become the cringe, you realize. I mean, all the shit that I wanted and thought was cool when I was 12 is cringy as hell now. We've read the Koozie Chronicles. Like, we all know this. Yeah, so then there was a huge break, like 4 years. We didn't really find out, and it kind of blew over because it was like, you know, whatever. You probably, everyone just assumed he pissed someone off at Twitch. You know what I mean? And they just signed NDAs, he got paid out, and they parted ways because they had so many other expensive ass huge names on their channel anyway. It didn't matter. And then an ex-Twitch employee leaked, hey, guess what? Here's why he got let go from Twitch. He was messaging a minor on the Twitch Whispers system that existed, which is DMs at one point. And they were inappropriate in nature, and they were going to making plans to meet at TwitchCon. And they're like, that's it. You know, whatever. We're done. We don't want this guy at TwitchCon talking to minors, basically, using our platform. There's some of the initial reactions. I can't believe they read his messages. And it's like any fucking site that you use that does not. I mean, it's not like they said these whispers are encrypted. Like they know. Like any website where you're not using end-to-end encryption, they're going to be able to read all of your fucking text. They probably do anyway on the encrypted ones, unless it's something like that you're using the dark web for. You know what I mean? Like, come on. So anyway, regardless of all that, you know, that came out, and he just started getting dropped by everybody, like sponsors. Everyone believed this, partially because Verge put out an article where they talked to people that still worked at Twitch anonymously, and they said, yeah, that's right. Like, that's the story. Yes, correct. They corroborated it now that it was out. Like, so the Defense Force came out in full. I think someone published an anonymous letter saying that they worked in Twitch as well, and they were on the other side of this, and they didn't deem that the messages were inappropriate. TJ has left, and he'll be back. He just disappeared.
He's appalled.
Yeah,
stormed out.
He couldn't handle this anymore. But like, and so I think it's a little bit more nuanced than this guy was grooming kids. It was a kid who is 17, which is what it says, which is, of course, the immediate defense force is like 17. Well, that's legal in some states. Well, yeah. Also, dude's fucking married with a kid. So regardless of legality, it's skeevy behavior anyway. And it wasn't legal, obviously. So the defense force and all this, you know, there's just a lot of back and forth within the Twitch community and fans and whatnot. But, and, you know, and like saying, oh, he was set up and all this stuff. And then I'm trying to think here, the timeline of events. He tweeted out basically confessing to all of it, like saying, yeah.
I think that was after like the studio that he co-founded dropped him.
Yeah, but I mean, like the studio he co-founded, the game that they make is this NFT game, like whatever. Like that's not a real video game studio. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he co-founded that, but it's like an NFT thing, so I wouldn't count them as a real thing.
Gotcha.
But, you know, just all this stuff started dropping him. And then he came out, and I mean, give him credit. He owned up to it. He said he did it and it was wrong. But, I mean, you still did it, man. Like, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time overcoming that one. He made a couple pretty interesting legal-ish statements. I admitted to no wrongdoing, and there was no illegal activity, which is like, yeah. And I brought this up to someone else, was like, you know, and To Catch a Predator, they're not necessarily doing something illegal, but they are being
Chris
caught
Hansen
doing something.
Recorded a video telling him to take a seat over there.
Yeah.
He literally, Dr. Disrespect takes a seat over there.
Yeah, I mean, literally, because because on To Catch a Predator, depending on the jurisdiction, depending on what was said in the messages, they may have just been talking to someone who was underage, and it was obvious what they were doing, but it wasn't obvious from the letter, so they can't or from the chat, so they can't charge them with anything. But they out them on TV, you know what I mean? And then that's enough damage as it is. And that's kind of what it is here. So it's like, yeah, you didn't do anything illegal. It's not illegal to talk to someone who's under the age of 18, but what you were talking about was pretty clear that you were looking for something, even though it wasn't explicit. So it's like, yeah, you can't say like legal, I did nothing wrong. Like, yeah, okay, but you were clearly grooming an underage woman I'm assuming woman, because he's married and has a kid, but who knows? I don't think details came out, and they shouldn't. They were a minor at the time. So it's just like, it's so sketch. Like, I mean, Dan Avidan went through that a little bit with Game Grumps because he got in trouble because he was messaged by an underage fan as well that I think he did date, but it was like 6 or 7 years later, and they were like in their 20s. So it was like, that's the different thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's still a little weird because here's the thing. Do not date your fans.
No.
Never. You cannot. You can date someone who is a fan, but someone who is like DMing you, sending you fan mail, it just don't. You can't.
Also, like, can you imagine dating anyone like under 30 at this age?
Under 30.
I could not stand them for 5 minutes.
30 is too high, but I would say 20.
Really?
20.
Have,
I would say
have
20.
You talked to 20 somethings?
No. I would say 27 and higher.
I still think the half your age plus 7 rule still applies here.
Yeah.
Which, for me, would be 27.
Because I was about to say, anytime you get like within striking distance of 30, it's fine. But like, yeah, it's skeevy. I mean, I forget how old he is. He's in his 40s, I think. Like, he's older than we are, I think. At least the very same age.
Jeez.
But yeah, so he got dropped from everything, and I made the joke that of course he went to YouTube. Because that's where all those people are. People that like to talk to underage kids. That's YouTubers. How many of those are there now? I mean, like, how many of those have been?
I think he's also on Kick, too.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was
It's very possible that YouTube didn't have, like, an exclusive thing, but they paid him to stream every stream he did on YouTube as well as maybe anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? I watch like a YouTube gaming stream almost weekly, and I still forget that YouTube has video game streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's not what people think of. Honestly, I prefer YouTube to Twitch, but I think it's just because YouTube's video is better. I pay for YouTube Premium though, so I guess maybe that's part of it. You know what I mean? So like, I think the quality is better. I don't chat. I don't look at chat ever, so I guess that I don't know if there's a difference there. I always close it because I don't give a shit. What I was going to point out is that so Dr. Respect, whatever, he's done skis until like he makes a comeback. I don't know. He'll pop up in like
take
fucking
the glasses and wig off, and nobody will recognize him.
He'll pop up in like fucking Palau or some other fucking city-state. Some other city-state in like Southeast Asia, and he'll just do like gambling streams. You know what I mean? Like, he'll pop up somewhere. Kick will take him back. Come on. Because they don't give a fuck. And he didn't do anything illegal. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, good for him to admit to it. And good for everyone to drop him because he sucked. And his content just sucked. It was the worst kind of shit, man. It's the stuff that in the gaming media is just the absolute worst fucking shit ever. You see this in World of Warcraft, thanks to Asmongold. You see this in a lot of games. It's just like people like to be super negative on purpose. Because that's like what all of the content creators do is shit all over everything. And then everyone just always shits all over everything, and that's just like the thing to be is super negative, and it sucks.
Video game nerd.
You're right, and you're a video game nerd, but the problem with him is that was like a parody, but then people take it seriously.
Yeah,
and there's like, oh, this
that
is the
happens.
way to be. It's the way with
welcome
Trailer
to
Park.
America post
the way with-
2016.
It was the way with like Trailer Park Boys. Like we went to the Trailer Park Boys live show, and those people that were in the audience were people that would be on the show. Like I was like, oh, I thought this was just like making not fun, but like, you know, playing a character. But no, the crowd was had a lot of Running Man
Larry
tattoos.
the Cable Guy is not like you people.
Uh-huh. Anyway, no, but so I've been playing a lot of ArmA Reforger, which is the newest version of ArmA, and by newest version I mean it came out in 2022. But it's gotten enough content patches and updates that it has now become much more of a complete game, and I prefer playing it to ArmA 3, which is a game that is like 15 years old. ArmA is a military simulator game, so it's the type of thing that I like. I like playing squad. I like playing FPS games that are more tactical simulation-y, where it's like, okay, like in ArmA, okay, so ArmA Reforger, the original game takes place in like let's say Cold War gone hot. So it takes place in like Eastern Europe, Russia v NATO, you know, and a lot of the mods have done modern military upgrade stuff. And so the mods are just like new assets, new weapons, new maps. So it's now NATO versus Russia, but with like modern equipment. So you can play, and there's a Vietnam server as well. There's all sorts of mods. But it's just like your basic, depending on the map size, 32 on 32 or 64 on 64 Battlefield kind of thing. But it's much more like what Battlefield used to be. Because Battlefield now is like an action game where, you can spawn in a helicopter every once in a while. Whereas this game is like capture a base, take logistics trucks from the main base, drive them to the base, drop off supplies so that you can spawn stuff at that base, and then drive from that base to another base further in the map. And then you have helicopters just flying and ferrying people from the main base to the like forward bases. It's very much like a logistics as well as combat game. And I like it because you can just drive a fucking truck around, or you can and just taxi people, which is kind of fun. But there's danger because you can get shot anytime. And somebody's got to hop out of the front of your logistics truck and fucking open up with a machine gun into a tree line because you saw a missile fly from there. So I don't know. It's a lot of fun. You can play it in a lot of different ways. And the community is mostly good. Interesting thing about ArmA Reforger is that it's available on Xbox. And Xbox and PC crossplay. Every server, every mod. So it has mod support on Xbox as well. Which is pretty cool when you think about it. That like I'm playing all these modded games and there's people fucking playing on Xbox. Problem, people on Xbox. So you have a lot of slurs getting thrown out because, that's Call of Duty people. Bohemia Interactive is a Greek company. I think they're Greek. They're Cyprus. They're a Cypriot company. They're in Cyprus. So not Greek, I guess, because Cyprus is like one of those little tiny countries that's like near Greece. But anyway.
It's like an island.
They speak Greek, I think. But anyway. It's an island.
It's all Greek to me.
And so their moderation team is light. The private servers will have their own moderation teams, yes, but it's tough. It's really easy just to mute people. Like I just get into a game, and there's squad radio, personal radio, and then area talk. Like you just click, and anyone that's near you can hear you, and it's like. Like kind of Phasmophobia has like the distance, so if you're far away, it's quiet. And then they have the radio, which you can hear anywhere. ArmA Reforger has some really fun stuff with that. You can hear the other team. So I was in a tense firefight in a building against the Russians, and I was on one floor and they were on the other, and we were throwing grenades down the stairs and up the stairs to each other and just yelling at each other, calling each other like weak for not storming the flight of stairs. And just like, I don't know, it was really funny because we're just like, you can hear them like talking, like, hey, he's upstairs. Like, yeah, I can hear you. Try and come at me, like shit like that. I don't know. Really fun though, having that in a game. And then the radio, when you, of course, unrealistically, when you talk on the radio, they can't hear you saying those words, but it is,
Oh.
where you would be able to, when you talk, whether it's a
Yeah,
radio
because I
or
think
not.
Phasmophobia, when you use the radio, you still have like the proximity.
Yeah, exactly.
thing.
But anyway, but that's fun. The other awesome thing about the game, one, you can steal the enemy's clothes and weapons, which is a way to, and this is a realism game, so you don't have like a fucking good guy, bad guy thing hovering over your head. So a lot of servers do ban people from doing that because that is bad, because people don't want team killing, and then you don't want to, someone who looks like wearing your equipment shooting at you. So a lot of them frown on that. What's not frowned upon is that if they die and they were carrying a radio, you pick up that radio and you can hear the enemy talking on the radio. It's awesome. It is so cool to like go and ambush someone on the side of the road, like near one of their supply routes, and then steal their radio, and then hear them like, "Hey, there's a guy that X and X that just shot me." You're like, hell yeah, I'm going over here.
That makes me want like a Star Wars Battlefront game where you could steal a stormtrooper helmet.
Yeah,
Because like that happens all the time. In, like rebels and stuff.
Yeah. So Armor Reforger has a lot of really cool stuff like that. They just put out an update that broke all the servers, but they're now starting to recover. They added, so in the base game is again Cold War, so there's no night vision, there's no like crazy optics. It's all like 1980s era weaponry and stuff. So it's really kind of fun in a way because you don't have like the crazy powerful shit. Interesting, night battles suck because there's no fucking lights anywhere. And they just added in flares in the new patch, so you can shoot like a flare up and then it illuminates like part of the battlefield. That makes it, because like it was shitty because like it's cool for realism, but like literally servers would go to like night mode because it has like a day night cycle, because matches last like 4 to 6 hours, because they don't,
Do they
there's
have
no
like
time limit.
phosphorescent like tracer rounds?
Yes. Oh yeah. And you have tracer rounds, so when you buy your ammo, you can, again, military simulator, you can buy ammo that doesn't have tracers. You can buy ammo that has tracers every 10 rounds or 5 rounds or whatever if you have a machine gun, or you can have a gun that has tracers just at the end of the magazine, so you can kind of, when you're unloading it, you can kind of see at the end where you're hitting, because you don't want tracers all the time, because if you have tracers, then people can see where the bullets were coming from. And there was a group of people shooting at one of our helicopters that learned the hard way that happens, because I turned a gun on them because I was in a tank, and they died. So yeah, it's a really fun game. There's a really great community in there. There's a lot of shitty people, but I find that like just muting people, and then like once you get into a game, everyone kind of turns on to like, okay, let's win mode. And you hear like people like playing like, there's a guy who is flying like the Cobra, I think it's just the Cobra, not the Apache, that's in the mod, the WCS, the World Combat, I forget what the S is for, some servers maybe, but World Conflict servers, that's it. And he was just like flying around being like, okay, who needs a fire mission? And you go on the radio and be like, hey, I'm in this thing and there's guys across the street who go like fucking blow up a building for you. And then you'd be like, oh, returning to base, I'll be ready in 5 minutes for next, just like people like simming a little bit together, LARPing, I guess, a little bit, but not live, I guess, just RPing in the game, which makes it feel really fun. But what I want to say is that like the culture around like streamers like Dr. Disrespect and shit just get like people just trying to be funny, like people trying to like do viral content, and it just sucks. You know what I mean? And like it's awful. Like I hate having to wade through that. I hate it. But you get into a good squad, you turn off all the people that are shitty, and a lot of times those people get kick voted out too. He's pretty good at that. If somebody's doing a bunch of dumb shit on the mic, they'll just kick vote and they get kicked out. So yeah, I don't know. I seriously put like 20 hours in that game this last week, playing every night, driving a logistics truck. Oh, and the other thing they added was door gunners on the helicopters. They already added door gunners. They added C4. I'm trying to think the other thing that. Oh, and they added AI driving and stuff. So now the AI can drive vehicles and stuff poorly, I might add. But and so ArmA
Just like in real life.
yeah. So ArmA Reforger is the reason I didn't buy it for so long is one, I heard it was kind of shitty, but now like I was seeing a lot of people talking about like, hey, there's like thousands of people playing this now, and the servers are stable again, and there's like a ton of really cool mods now for this. So if you want to play a cool game, Matt, you could buy the game Squad. I
would, but TGA has me chained to the Super Nintendo, and I'm not allowed to leave until I finish Yoshi's Island.
I haven't played it, but there is a Squad mod. So Squad's very similar to ArmA Reforger, where it's a tactical military simulator game. There's a very popular Star Wars mod. So,
Ooh.
Yeah, I have not played that, but I've heard it's good. I think it may be like, I think it's like not original trilogy, but I think maybe have multiple types of things. But it definitely are droid battles at some point. But anyway, so pretty cool. I'm a big fan. ArmA Reforger is meant to be not ArMA 4, but the tech demo for ArMA 4. So they didn't really sell it well either, because it's like, so I'm buying this and I don't get ArMA 4 when it comes out. But like, also, when the fuck is ArMA 4 coming out? They haven't even announced it. ArMA 3 came out in like 2011. It's like a really old game at this point. People still do play. But Reforger just has so many better things. Like the FPS. I get like 100 FPS in this game. I cannot get that in ArMA 3. Even though that game is 14 years old. Like that game is not optimized. I'm buzzing. I love that game. So yeah, so I don't know. They sold me. I bought it during the Steam winter sale because I think it was $23 instead of $30. So I'm like,
yeah, I think it is also currently.
It is on sale.
$23-ish.
Yes. It's a really fun game. I don't know. But it is kind of, I don't know. You used to play PUBG with me, but there's something about that type of gameplay where it's almost like survival horror, like the way that they are. Whereas like you spend like a good 15 minutes driving around, getting to a point, and then all of a sudden you hear, gunfire, and it's like on. It's like a jump scare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the shit is real, So that's the type of game I like, and I'm a big fan of this one, despite the Dr. Disrespect wannabe shittiness in a lot of the people playing it. I wouldn't say a lot. I'd say 10%. But those 10% are very loud and stupid, especially when a match starts and all 64 players are in a tiny space. Everyone's got to try and get their fucking clip on Twitch. Say or do something stupid.
I don't know if I want to play any game with voice chat. Like,
yeah,
I'm just sick of it.
I hate it. But then you'll just have genuinely great moments with people that are kind of like you. You know what I mean? And just having fun. Like there was a point when we were at the air base that we had taken, and one of the trucks had glitched into the ground, and we wanted to put down like a hospital base part there, and we need to get the truck out. And so we were just like, oh, well, that's your problem right there. Like, just like role playing a bunch of base contractors trying to, and like, we were like, all right, let me try out this new C4 thing they just added to the game. And like, all right, everyone's staying clear, and it blows up. I'm like, oh, well, that didn't do it. All right. And, you get good community moments as well. I don't want to sell it as all bad, but there's always will just be somebody just talking shit on the radio, and you just have to mute them. That's it. I want to play it so bad right now. I'm going to be playing it. I'll be driving a logistics truck while we're playing. We're talking.
I don't believe that you're not playing it right now.
No, I'm not.
You're driving with your feet.
Yeah. I got my driving wheel underneath here. I'm driving with my knees.
Yep. You have both your driving wheel and your HODS.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you swap vehicles, you have to swap to the more accurate control.
I do kind of want to learn how to fly helicopters because those seem kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of hard to fly.
That's what
Yeah, that's what I've heard from people who fly real ones too. Like a plane glides through the air, a helicopter beats the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
The ArmA game, Squad, I tried the helicopters, and I'm just terrible at it. The ArmA game has a lot of like, because it's meant to be played on Xbox as well, so it's a little bit more simplified with controls. There's a auto hover that is basically just like hit this button and it makes your helicopter like collect itself back up and just sit at the, it's like a little bit of an autopilot. So a lot of people playing it, like what you do is you just fucking use the auto hover, to just get up high and then fly without it. And then when you get to the location, just jam on the auto hover button and it'll make you just do this crazy like turn and stop, and then you get level and then you land. So it's like, it's a little more simplified. So like maybe I should get into that, because if you want to be a real logistics person, the helicopters hold as much, because they're Hueys and Mi-8s, and they hold just as many as a truck, but it's much quicker than driving on the roads. Although not as dangerous, I would say, because there aren't a lot of like man pads in the game, man portable air defense. So the Russians have Iglas, which are heat seekers, but I don't think Americans have much anti-air. I mean, they're guns that work, but yeah, anyway. It's fun. It's fun flying around, jumping out of a helicopter, doing dumb shit, like meeting a couple really cool people and spending like 4 hours with like the same 3 people, like just flying around a helicopter, landing near a base, like shooting that, taking the base, getting back in the helicopter with the same people that are like cool and not talking shit. I don't know. Just got to find the right people. You know what I mean? And then it's not bad. I will say one of the community Discords I'm on, I'm still on. I'm only on because of the insane shit that gets posted on that Discord. Because the type of people that play Milsim games. So
yeah,
let's post video footage of the Ukraine war.
Oh, good.
On this Discord server. I'm just on it because I just want to like just see the shit that these people talk about. I don't know. There's the gun nuts.
A bunch of rotten.com.
No, it is not that.
Lively.
It is not that bad. It is more like meme videos of like dumb helicopter get blown up. But that's like a real person in there. Although they're Russian, so fuck them.
Yeah, are Russians people?
I mean, I
Not
feel
according to Russian government.
I feel bad for the Russian soldiers. I don't feel bad for the Russian commanders.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
just-
Like, they're being forced to do this.
Funny that, like, for hundreds of years, Russia's strategy has been just throw people at it.
Yeah. They got a lot of them. Got to give them credit. Problem, though, Ukraine is also one of the most populated countries in Europe, so. I mean, nowhere near Russia. It's like, I think, 3 times smaller, but it's still a lot of people. A lot of people that really don't like you, turns out. Anyway, yeah, that's all I have for ArmA Reforger. I just really want to get off my chest because I played ass loads of it.
Yeah, I've just been splitting my time between some whatever games,
I mean, we
Organized
could talk about our Archipelago.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're almost done with it.
And we're almost ready for the July one. The episode where
Yes.
you announce that we want to do it's coming out this weekend because I didn't do it last weekend.
Awesome.
I had something going. Oh, I had to go to a bunch of shit last weekend, so I was not free.
Mm-hmm.
But
other than the archipelago that we did, been playing a little bit of Final Fantasy V. I picked up Fire Emblem on Nintendo Switch Online again.
Oh yeah,
and that kind
the
of
Game Boy Advance one, right?
the Game Boy Advance one. Yeah. I mean, I have 3 houses, but I'm not very far in it.
Yeah.
But as of the time that we're recording this, a week and a half ago, we had a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
I'm going to be going off of the
We had an
Reddit mega
Xbox
thread.
Direct too.
We had an Xbox Direct. There was some good stuff there. I don't
There
remember
was.
what happened there.
I'll do the Xbox one. You do the
Okay.
Nintendo one.
Perfect. I'm pulling off the Reddit mega thread because it will have everything. I'm mostly just going to rapid fire and probably skip some whatever ones, but I want to make sure I had the full list because the Nintendo Direct was dense. There was a lot of stuff there. I'm not saying everything was good, because we're near the end of its lifespan.
Yeah,
we know,
the Switch 2 is coming out next year.
yeah, we know what's coming out next year. We don't know anything. We know nothing official about it.
Yeah.
Lot of rumors, but this Nintendo Direct was exclusively stuff for the Switch. 90% of which within the next 6 months.
Yeah.
So I'm not going in order of how it was in the Direct. I'm just going in order of this list, and we're going to start with the big one, Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Fuck! I did not expect them to bring back the engine that they made for Link's Awakening on the Switch. Let alone the fact that it's a big map and you play as Zelda and it's a whole new game. And what the fuck? I want it.
It does seem really cool. That was one of the coolest things they announced by far. Just because it was not. I don't think anyone expected that. You know, like we knew about like Metroid Prime. The other Mario Brothers game was the surprise, I think, as well. But this was huge because it was like, yeah, we play as Zelda, but she doesn't use swords. She has crazy other weird ability to create matter, and I don't know. It just seems like a really cool, like inventive way to do like an action RPG. Like you're using this tool.
Looks really good, and I love the fact that they're still using that what would you call
Link's
that?
Awakening? It's like toy tilt shift.
Yeah, toy. Yeah, it's definitely like a toy.
Yeah,
like a little toy world.
Shiny toy world. That game didn't run great on the Switch.
No.
And so this also probably won't run great, especially when you're spawning in 50 beds to make a tower to climb over an objective. Like,
and weirdly enough, they also announced they're coming out with a gold Triforce Switch Lite.
Yeah, which is weird because that's going to be deprecated within a year.
I'm not going to get it, but I so want it.
It does, yeah. They look cool. They look cool.
It looks gorgeous.
I mean, you wouldn't be wrong to buy one and not use it because that would definitely hold value because those special edition 3DSs still cost an arm and a leg.
I don't want to be that person, though. I really don't.
Even the used ones still hold value. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I thought about it, but I didn't. I wish I would have bought the Ocarina of Time 3DS. There was an Ocarina. It was a Majora's Mask 3DS XL. There was one of them that was available, and I wish I would have bought it just because
there was a lot of good Zelda 3DSs.
Yeah, exactly. And now those cost an arm and a leg. I think there was a cool Pokemon one too.
There were a few good Pokemon ones. The X and Y one was pretty badass. Mario and Luigi Brothership. We got a brand new Mario and Luigi RPG being made for the Switch, which I did not expect, but it makes sense because we got 2 Mario RPGs in the past year. They're both remakes. One of the Super Nintendo one and one of the GameCube. Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Glad to see a Mario Luigi game come to the Switch that isn't just on the Switch Online. We don't know a lot about it. They just showed a little bit, but it looks good. It looks well made. That's coming out in November. Also coming out in November, something that was announced, I think, 4 years ago, and then no one talked about it. The Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake.
It was the Link Between Worlds one.
Oh yeah, the Link Between
That one
Worlds.
was the gold one with the black bottom,
double Triforce,
and it had the Triforce reflected on the top and bottom. I wish I would have bought that. I just went with a regular one because I think the price was higher on that. But like, man, I love a special edition console. The best special edition console, though, probably the PlayStation 4 Pro PS1 edition. I love that thing. Gray. Yeah. It's got the PlayStation DualShock controller, but with the like colored buttons. Yeah. I want one, but I'm sure they cost an arm and a leg.
I bought just the controller. Because that's what I wanted. So Dragon Quest 3, I've never played Dragon Quest 3. I hear it's probably the best of the early games. It's getting that full HD 2D remake, just like Octopath Traveler, like Live Alive, like Triangle Strategy. And at the end of that announcement, they announced that Dragon Quest 1 and 2 is also getting a combined HD 2D remake for the pair. Now, I kind of expected we would get a Mario Party game announced during this, but I did not expect what Super Mario Party Jamboree is coming. What's all happening?
Yeah,
Because
I don't. What is that? So it's just a new
So-
Mario Party game.
It's a new Mario Party, 7 game boards, which we haven't had something that big in a while. The average Mario Party game has either 4 or 5 game boards in it. It's 5 new ones and 2 from previous games. One
Yeah.
from
I saw there was
Mario
one from
Party, one from Mario
3.
Party 2.
There was the Western one.
2
I
and
think.
3. Western, I think, is from 2. I think
Okay.
it's 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. There's 110 mini games. But there's also a new game mode called the Coop-athlon, where you play just rapid fire mini games against up to 19 other players online, which I kind of want to play.
Yeah, that seems all like what's that game? What was that game that was huge on Twitch for a while? Where the little guys.
Oh, Fall Guys?
Fall Guys, yeah. It's very, very Fall Guys. Yeah, so it's 5 new maps and I think 2 classic
And 2
ones.
returning.
Yeah, which is
Yes.
pretty cool. October 17th coming out, so. Yeah, I mean, Western Land and Mario's Rainbow Castle. I don't know what that's from.
Yeah, that's 1 and 2. Yeah, Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 2.
Okay.
Oh,
that's like the original map. Like that was like the one that is like map number 1, I think, in Mario Party 1.
Yep.
Anyway.
I like that they basically have Mario Kart in this thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the Coop-athlon.
Yeah.
It looks good. The next one is for me it's more of a about fucking time. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Like, yes, we got Tropical Freeze on the Switch. And yes, that's the better game.
Didn't we get Donkey Kong Returns remade on the Wii U as well?
No, 3DS.
Oh, it
Donkey
was
Kong Country
Freeze.
Returns was Wii.
Freeze was on the Wii U, and then it
Yes.
was redone on Switch. Got it. Okay.
Returns was on the Wii. Freeze was on the Wii U.
Returns was also on the console I played it on, which was the 3DS.
3DS. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it was remade
There
on
was
the
a
3DS
version.
first. Yeah.
Yes.
And then we got Tropical Freeze. I think in the second year of the Switch life.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
now
are
we're
these
getting
Mountain
Returns.
Dew flavors?
Yeah.
It might as well be. It might as well be.
Drink up that Donkey. What does Donkey Kong taste like? I mean, banana. Honestly, that'd be the flavor.
Yeah.
Banana and ape.
So Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a Lego spin-off coming on the Switch. What?
Yeah, they announced
Yeah.
that at the Sony thing, which was.
It looks weird.
It looks weird. The weird part about it too is it isn't Traveler's Tales making it. It is Gorilla, the company that made.
Oh, that's cool.
The what is it called? Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah, the game that
Zero
made
Dawn.
that is making this, so it's like new.
So at least it'll be fun. Just Dance we can skip. That's whatever. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, we got a little bit of a... It almost looks like a partial gameplay teaser because it looks like there was some gameplay in it. If the lock-on works as good as it shows in that little bit of gameplay that we saw, kind of excited for it. That's coming out next year. I'm going to put the two... Nintendo Switch Online stuff all together. We got 2 new games for the Game Boy Advance.
We're getting rain.
I
got my windows open.
Yeah. So Game Boy Advance, we got Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past plus 4 Swords. Super excited because I've never really got to play 4 Swords. I played a little bit of the Anniversary Edition.
Yeah.
I want to play that with people.
You should probably bring your Switch.
Yeah, I'm going to.
We can play that.
Yep. I mean, we could try it online, but I don't know how well that would work.
That'd be fun to play in person.
Yeah, exactly. And then Metroid Zero Mission, which I did not expect, but I'm kind of glad. I love Zero Mission.
So Zero Mission is that a remake of Metroid?
That's
2?
a remake of Metroid, the
The
original
first
Metroid,
one.
the first
the
one.
the NES one. Okay.
I've never beat the original NES one. I've gotten pretty far, but I've never beat it. I've beat Zero Mission. Zero Mission does have some added content.
Well, and
some
it's also
added,
like quality of life as well.
some quality of life stuff, and additional like upgrades as well.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo Switch Online got a new Nintendo 64 app exclusively for mature games, and it launched with Turok, Dinosaur Hunter, and Perfect Dark.
Wait. So okay. So I need to download a different app.
Yes.
Got it. I was like, where are these?
Yes. Yeah, because they're age gated.
Oh,
they wanted
adult.
to have a separate. Well, because you got the parental controls, they wouldn't be able to do that properly for the Switch Online stuff
I guess.
if they didn't cordon these off.
All right. Well, I'd play Perfect Dark again. I don't know if I play Turok.
All right, I'm gonna go super fast through most of the rest of these.
Uh-huh.
You're not going to spend
But-
a bunch of time on the Funko Pop game?
Oh fuck no!
Oh my god, I forgot
look-
about that.
Yeah, Funko Fusion looks like a bad version of Lego
Yeah.
Dimensions.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like not a real studio.
I didn't
game that
look
did it.
like that looked really rough in the video.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like I was like, is this how deep we are right now in the gutter of like video games industry? Is like this is getting playtime in the big thing? Like, I don't know.
Hello Kitty's getting an Animal Crossing ripoff that looks actually halfway decent.
It does, and I think it's free to
yeah.
play.
Oh, is it? I know it's a timed console exclusive, but I've not
Okay.
looked up the price.
So when I say
Coming
it's
up
free to
next
play,
year.
I think it's on iOS devices for free.
Okay,
So maybe this will cost money, but
probably it's not coming up till next year, so we got time.
okay.
Yeah. Stray is coming out to Switch. I also found out Stray is actually. I watched a video of someone doing an archipelago with 117 different games, and Stray is a game. So that's on Archipelago.
Too bad I
not
don't
the
like
Switch
Stray
version.
that much.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Tales of the Shire, Lord of the Rings game kind of looks boring.
Oh, well, that one actually looked cool to
it's-
me.
It's just live as a hobbit.
Uh-huh.
Hobbit
Oh, that's
life.
true. It is a Hobbit life.
Yeah, it's literally Animal Crossing Hobbit. And the mechanics are about like creating a sick ass dinner party. So I don't know.
Yeah.
There could be some
Oh,
fun to
maybe.
that. We'll see.
Nintendo Switch Sports is getting a basketball free update this summer,
Uh-huh.
which was not excited about. I'm like, they better have 3-point challenge. They do have a 3-point shootout, so
Kobe.
okay, cool.
Kobe.
Um,
It's the Monster
It is.
Factory episode where he misses every single 3D 3-point shot in succession.
they showed off a bit more of Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. John and I have already talked about that in the podcast.
I already pre-ordered it, the physical edition.
I'm getting digital because I just want to spend $30 on that. Mio Memories in Orbit. That looks interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember that one. What's that one?
I think it's a Metroidvania, kind of like a space themed Metroidvania.
God, what? But isn't Metroid a space-themed Metroidvania?
Yeah, but this is not made by Nintendo.
What was it
Because-
called? Mio.
Mio Memories in Orbit. Play as Mio, a nimble android with extraordinary abilities who awakens to the vessel, a giant derelict spaceship teeming with lush vegetation and machines gone rogue.
I don't
It's
like.
got a cool art style.
I don't like this
Yeah.
definition of is an upcoming 2D Metroidvania, which is what Metroid was. But anyway,
Yeah.
it does
Disney
have
Illusion-
a really okay. I remember this. Yes, this is a really neat art style.
Disney Illusion Island is getting an update, which includes a new mystery
And there's
mode.
I think there always was co-op in that
Always,
game.
Disney Illusion Island is basically Rayman Legends.
Yeah,
It's
but Disney.
pretty well done from what I've heard.
Yeah,
I've just
I've
not
never
played
played it. Yeah.
They of course showed off Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. They started pretty early on with the Among Us free update with the roles for the main version of the game.
Yeah.
Darkest Dungeon 2. I don't know too much about the first Darkest Dungeon.
So I just want to shout out the Among Us studio.
Yeah.
So that during the Summer Games Festival stream, they announced a whole bunch of games that they were publishing. So what they said they did was they took the money that they made off of Among Us, and rather than take huge paychecks from it or go public, and sell the company for billions of dollars, they invested that money into other indie developers that they like the projects of. So that's like a really cool thing that they did.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome. It's kind of like what Donkey has done with Big Mode Games.
Yep.
Used his YouTube clout and money to like make a business of let's find cool games and publish them, including Animal Well, which I beat. Which is great.
It's what GameStop tried to do, but did it so badly.
Well, they just didn't do it. They put out like 2 games.
I think there were like 4.
I think one of them was really well received.
Yeah, the first one. Fuck, it's the shirt I wear all the time.
Oh my god.
It's
on
the
the
underwater
Giant Bomb
one.
website, I'm looking it up. Song of the Deep.
Underwater one.
Song of the Deep.
So,
yep.
Invisible Hours was, it's more of an experience than a thing, and I still haven't watched it. It started off VR only, but Invisible Hours is now something you can play on all the systems. Has Been Heroes kind of fucking sucks. And I think there was a 4th one, and I don't. Oh yeah, Deformers. Deformers was like if
Deformer. Deformer.
It's like if Smash Brothers was, we have no characters, everything is just a giant big ball, and you just kind of like balloon to knock people off this 3D platform. It was really bad. Like the server shut down in a month.
Got it.
Game is unplayable. Like you cannot play it anymore.
Got it.
Looney Tunes is coming out with a Mario Sports ripoff that looks really rough.
Yeah, that was a rough trailer.
Yeah. Metal Slug is getting a card-based combat system, or what was it?
Oh yeah, that Metal Slug
Tower Defense.
Tower Defense. Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder if that's a mobile game. It felt mobile gamey.
It might be. Oh, it launched that same day, so it might have been mobile game first and then came out on Switch. Marvel vs. Capcom, arcade fighting classics. Interesting for people who love Marvel vs. Capcom, at least the old stuff. I'm not a big fighting game guy. Though one of the games in there is the Punisher beat-em-up game. Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero, I don't know anything. The 100 Line Last Defense Academy. That is Danganronpa, the tower defense game.
Yeah.
From the makers of Danganronpa, it's the art style of Danganronpa. It's not the studio of Danganronpa who owns the Danganronpa name. So I don't know how Danganronpa this is going to be. I'm just going to say Danganronpa 5 more times. Because Square Enix wants to fuck up my brain, they're now coming out with a very, we're bringing the Final Fantasy guys back, and we're making a turn-based combat game called Fantasian Neo Dimension.
That does have one of the most insane names.
And it fucks me up because we also got Atlas, who's coming out with Neo Fantasia, which is not a Persona game from the makers of Persona. And I don't need 2 games with basically the same name. Neo Re-Fantasia. I don't need 2 games with the same fucking name. Re-Fantasia. I don't even know. Fuck this.
Yeah.
Whatever. John, did you play any of the Saga games? Because we got Romancing Saga 2 coming out.
No, I did not.
The only ones I've played are the ones that have Final Fantasy in the title. I played Final Fantasy Legends. I know that's technically a Saga game. Fairy Tail 2.
Yeah, Metal Slug Attack Reloaded it. That was a mobile game.
Ace Attorney Investigations Collection.
Yeah,
we just got the Apollo Justice Collection a year ago, and they're bringing out this collection, which includes finally bringing the second Miles Edgeworth game to the West.
Yeah, so that one's just the big thing with that is it's a bunch of games that were Japanese only are now going to be included. So I think it's every single Ace Attorney game will now have been translated.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's cool. I won't buy it because I still haven't finished the original trilogy. So
I finished the original trilogy on iOS.
Yeah.
I have not started or maybe I have started a while ago, but I'd probably restart it. The first Apollo Justice game.
Those are fun games.
Pharmacia, I don't remember anything about that. It looks. Oh wait, that's. I know it's made by Marvelous. Does Marvelous make the Story of Seasons games, or are they the ones that? Okay, then it should be decent because it looks like a 3D version of not Story of Seasons. What's Fantasy Life, where it's mix of farming and RPG shit.
I'm just on Marvelous Games' website.
And then the new Denpa Men, which looks like it's a free-to-play RPG where the characters look like Mii's and the game looks like garbage.
Yeah, they did Story of Seasons, yeah. And Rune Factory.
Story of Seasons is the real Harvest Moon.
Correct.
It's just the Harvest Moon name is still owned by whatever company.
It's very complicated if you're a big Harvest Moon fan. It's actually not that complicated. What happened was the people that made the Harvest Moon series were like, we don't want to work for Natsume anymore. We're going to make our own studio. And then,
it's the other way around. It's just the U.S. publisher that's the issue.
Got it.
It's been the same Japanese development team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the same team. It's just they can't use the term Harvest Moon anymore. It has to be.
Yeah, Harvest Moon was the localized name, and that's still owned by
Story
the
of
U.S.
Seasons was
publisher.
the Japanese name.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we got that first 3DS game, Story of Seasons, we're now in line with the Japanese namings. Although, for any of the remakes of the old Harvest Moons, it's now Story of Seasons with that subtitle.
Correct. I've been playing Story of Seasons Friends of Mineral Town on my Steam Deck.
Yes.
Which was originally the PlayStation 1 Harvest Moon Friends of Mineral Town.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Cool.
All right.
Any other Nintendo?
That is everything. Like I said, it was fucking dense.
It was.
There was some good stuff. There's also a lot of trash.
Yeah.
But all in all, they also gave us more than what we expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited just because there's games coming out this year.
Yeah.
Not the same for a lot of these other publishers. Like we'll go into Xbox showcase here.
Yeah.
So EA didn't have their own show, and a lot of the EA stuff showed up in the Xbox, the Microsoft showcase.
Okay. We can skip all that. That's fine.
Well, there'll be some stuff. Anyway.
Well, I meant the sports games.
Yeah.
Because we all know
I don't think there were any sports games.
So you didn't announce the new football club or
there's a new one coming out. Surprise, surprise.
Yep.
A new Madden coming out. Anyway, so they start off with Call of Duty Black Ops 6. That's going to be not Cold War. What is it? Desert Storm era Black Ops. That's what they're doing. So maybe that'll be good. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm going to play it because it'll be on Game Pass on launch. So why not?
Yeah.
Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yeah, that looks fucking
that
sick.
melted my brain.
Yeah, so that is Doom, but what happens in medieval times, but not really medieval times because it's like hell. But anyway, Doom guy has a shield.
Do you want a shield that
has a
also
chainsaw?
Yeah.
So and his armor's got spikes on it, and he kind of looks like a knight a little bit. Anyway, but 2025, of course. So.
Yeah.
Looks pretty neat.
It's basically a black metal album cover come to life.
Yeah, State of Decay 3 had not CG, but looked like in-engine trailer. But like, I don't really know what the point is of that. I mean, we all know what State of Decay is. Zombie survival co-op. There's a new one coming out, which is great for people that like that series because people like the other two. I'd play them. I just have no one to play them with, and they're really kind of co-op games.
Yeah.
Dragon Age: The Veilguard was revealed, which is the new Dragon Age sequel, like post Dragon Age Inquisition. The trailer was a little cringe. It was a little Marvel movie-y.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, we're getting the group together. And here's all the characters, and they all have like a one-liner, I don't know. But then what I read was that people are like, yeah, we work on that game. That is not what the game is like. Like, this is a RPG. Like, we wanted to make a really cool RPG. So it sounds like the game. And then not even that. I think that they had demos there that they didn't have video of, but they let, video game journalists and whatnot played the demo, and they're like, yeah, the demo feels like Dragon Age Inquisition, like, evolved. So, which people liked. So, Starfield's getting, everyone wanted more Starfield. Everyone's talking about Fallout, but more Starfield.
Yeah, there wasn't anything there, so might as well add more.
I know, right?
Well, it seems like Bethesda might be having some competition coming up here in one of the other things that was announced.
So Starfield's first expansion, to be fair, this first expansion seems pretty cool. It's like space horror, which is cool. Let's hope it's good. It'll be on Game Pass. But then they announced paid mod support, which people like audibly booed, which is crazy because that's been around for a while already. Like, and I don't know, man. I don't really hate on paid mods, I guess. I don't know. Mod makers do shit for free. I don't know. I'm not going to hate on it. Other than the fact that I saw people say that one of the paid missions is like $7.99. It takes like a half hour to complete. So, I don't know if this is a good way to monetize. They did announce a big Fallout 76 update, which is out now. It's Skyline Valley, which is just, I guess, a new zone.
Yeah, they added a bunch to the bottom of the map.
Yeah, a bunch of the map expansion.
And I've seen some of the story, and it's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, play as a ghoul.
I keep forgetting it exists, so I haven't gone to play it
So
yet.
they're going to have the ability to play as a ghoul in 2025. Because everyone liked Walton Goggins. So you get to be him. One of the coolest things that I saw was Expedition 33. Which is like a turn-based RPG. It takes place in like future where the Earth is being taken over by aliens, it looks like. I don't know. It looks really cool. Expedition 33. Excited. And you get a turn-based RPG. Looks cool. I don't know this company, Sandfall Interactive. I've never heard of them before. I'm just Googling them real quick. What has Sandfall Interactive done? Expedition 33, but all of the people that work, it is not a weird Chinese gaming company that I've never heard of before. It looks like it's all people in the U.S. It looks like guy who lots of guys that worked on Ubisoft, left other big companies basically. Favorite games. I'm seeing some here. We got The Golden Sun, Persona 3, Chrono Trigger. So, they got some good people that know good RPGs on there. So let's hope that ends up being as cool as it looked in the trailer. The other thing was South of Midnight. Do you remember that, TJ?
No, I didn't see it.
You didn't watch? So I'm the only one that's watched this.
All the way through, yeah. I just watched a couple trailers that happened to pop.
I'm just watching trailers on the Xbox website right now.
So South of Midnight is the We Happy Few developers that they bought, Compulsion Games. And it is a fantasy New Orleans game that takes place in a swamp. And you're a lady who explores the swamp, and it's got a weird, like, claymation style, which looks really neat. Anyway, it looks really cool. It's coming in 2025, though, so we'll know more about it later. World of Warcraft had a War Within official date, August 26th, new expansion. Nothing else exciting about that. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater had its first trailer. So we got to see the Snake Eater remake.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's good. I don't know. I like Snake Eater. It's the best Metal Gear Solid game. We'll see. Sea of Thieves, new 13th season. You get to be a bad guy. You can play villain. I don't know. There's a trailer for a game called Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, which is like...
Apparently that's a Souls Light.
Yeah, it's like a fantasy, but like like gunpowder, you know, like kind of fantasy era. You know what I mean? Like that kind of era.
Yeah.
Souls Light, don't like that. Any game that's like Souls-ish, I'm like, okay. No, I'm cool. I don't really like those types of games, and if I'm going to play them, I'm going to play like Elden Ring. Like the ones made by the people.
I don't mind like the direction that 2D games have gone that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Salt and Sanctuary,
sure. Dead Cells,
or Blasphemous, I guess.
Or
is the one I played.
Hades.
Dead Cells. Hades more top down, but yeah.
Is Hades
We're talking about
qualifies Souls-like?
Not really.
Yeah, it's a roguelike.
Yeah.
Woo! Sorry, it's storming like crazy right now, and I have my windows open, and I heard a huge thunder. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
No, I
can't
can just
it
hear
over
the
so.
thunder in my real life space.
Yeah. So the podcast listeners can hear that. I'm sure it's ruining the audio, but whatever. It's fucking hot in here if I close the windows. Age of Mythology Retold. That seemed kind of cool. We got... I don't know if you played the Age of Mythology on PC, but that's a really fun... It was by the Age of Empires developers, but add in crazy super units. You know, your Vikings get your crazy Viking warrior guys. The Egyptians get crazy fucking hieroglyphic monster guys. I don't know. It's a neat little game. I'm excited to play that when it comes out just because I like that original game. Perfect Dark had a trailer, which is crazy. I forgot that this got announced as a thing that was being made. But Perfect Dark is being made by... I don't even know what company is... Crystal Dynamics is making it. Which is the studio... What did Crystal Dynamics do recently? Is that the TJ? TJ, are you dead? Am I dead?
No, you're not dead.
Okay, just TJ's dead. He froze.
Crystal Dynamics. What have you done?
Well, so they did the Lara Croft, like, way back in the day. Okay, they also did the new ones. Okay.
Oh, yeah, and did they do the, like, remaster of the old one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of excited for that, too, because someone who had mentioned, like, the company that owned Deus Ex dissolved the studio, and this game looks very Deus Ex-y, you know? Because it looks like, I don't know. I mean, Perfect Dark was kind of like that because it's kind of like future, technology hacking. Anyway,
it was also like alien
Stop the
conspiracy, but
presses.
you're also
There's a
gets,
Tomb Raider expansion pack for the Power Wash Simulator.
Oh hell yeah!
Ooh.
Do I get to power wash Lara Croft? 'Cause she gets dirty.
You can power wash her trophy room. I don't know if that's a euphemism.
Okay. Diablo 4 had a trailer for the release date for Vessel of Hatred, which is an expansion. I hear that game has picked up a little bit just because they did a whole bunch of balancing and people are much happier with the way the game works now. So it's kind of like Diablo 3 was the exact same way. That came out and people fucking hated it, and then they fixed it, and then it sold a ton of copies when the expansion came out, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I can play this on console. You can play Diablo 4 on console." You know, so I think it's on Game Pass. Fable had a trailer. Fable 2025 expected. The Fable trailer, famous for having the voice of Peep Show's Super Hands as the guy doing the voice, and it was like, I know this voice. Oh, it's the guy from Peep Show. Anyway, we didn't really see anything other than like a CGI trailer for that one. Could be good. I like a good Fable. You know, I've been playing. I started playing Fable 2 again on the Xbox. That's a really good game.
I've only ever played the first one.
Same here.
Well, Fable 2 is like infinitely better. So there's a Frag Punk 5v. Yeah, hey, you want a 5v5 hero shooter?
Nah.
All right, well, this is one of them. But this one, you got cards. And you get you can change the rules of the game with a card. So you get a card that makes all the enemies have big heads, or you get a card that makes a bunch of like foliage pop up in the room and you can hide in it. I don't know, man. It has a cool art style, but I mean, it's a 5-on-5 hero shooter. I mean, okay. Yeah. Winter Burrow looked awesome.
Looks awesome.
It is a mouse RPG looking like thing. Crafting.
It's described as a cozy survival game.
Yeah. So you're like a little mouse guy surviving the winter. And like crafting knit hats. And watching out for owls.
And it's a very like storybook style illustration.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm interested in playing it at all, but I appreciate that it exists.
So, really, kind of really excited for Beethoven and Dinosaur's new game Mixtape. I don't know if you can listen to the trailer, Matt, but it is 80s game.
Okay. Yeah.
Kids, Devo, Roxy Music, Lush, Smashing Pumpkins. No, not 80s. I would say like more like 90s, but has also, like listen to like Devo.
Yes. It's very John Hughes inspired.
Yes. But also like fantasy. I don't know. The company made The Artful Escape, which I've not played, but I have heard is very good. Kind of like a narrative action, not narrative action, but narrative game. But like where teenage guitar prodigy sets out on a psychedelic journey to inspire his stage persona, confront the legacy of a dead folk legend. It's like Carl Weathers did a voice in, I guess, Lena Headey, a lot of people. Anyway, it's like he's like a space guitarist in that game. He goes to like space and rocks. Anyway, so apparently that's really cool. I'm kind of excited for this. Coming of age music looks cool. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 had another trailer. That is something that John will be excited about because it's like American Truck Simulator and Flight Simulator together. So the idea is it's not just you fucking around. It's like, hey, do you want to go transport medical patients in a helicopter or go fight fires or do bush pilot runs to take, supplies out to like, I don't know. It just adds a bit of like game simulation to the simulation, like a business simulation aspect that exists in so many sim games, which Flight Simulator never really had. Elder Scrolls had a trailer. I guess there's another expansion. I don't know. Elder Scrolls Online.
So.
Big announcement. Life is Strange has a new game. That isn't just like Life is Strange True Colors or another what's the other one? Tell Me Why, like the Don't Nod made as well. That are like Life is Strange. This is an actual sequel to the first game with the same character, Max Caulfield. So interesting. I want to save the big one for last, so we'll come back to it. I don't care about that one. I don't care about Wu Chang Fallen Feathers.
I really thought that said Wu-Tang, and it was a Wu-Tang Clan game.
Hey, remember all the insane Chinese developed Souls-like knockoffs? We got another one here. Assassin's Creed Shadow got announced. First look, but then Ubisoft had a much deeper one. That one's kind of cool. Assassin's Creed finally in feudal Japan. You can play as a ninja, or you can play as this African guy who was like apparently
samurai,
a real samurai, and he was one of like Nobunaga, like the Nobunaga's like samurai. So like I don't know, Yasuke. It's like apparently a really cool like true story.
There was a movie being developed about him. I don't know if that ever happened or if it's still happening.
Another John game, Stalker 2, coming out in September. Looks awesome. Same company, GCS Game World, or GSC Game World. I love the Stalker series. So, survival horror FPS. There you go. Atomfall. Now that looked neat.
Now that's the one I'm excited about.
Yes. So this, I was wondering what game you were talking about when you talked about have Fallout having a run for its money. But yeah, this looks very post-apocalyptic.
It's
Britain,
quaint British Fallout.
Yep, which got delayed because they put out that Fallout London was going to come out. Anyway, but yeah, it looks really cool. And I think that's not Game Pass. It's going to be on everything. They announced new series consoles, which is not great. Bigger size, an X without a drive. They're still too expensive for how little space they have. Gears of War E-Day was the big one of the big announcements. Maybe the biggest announcement. So there's a Gears
I assume
of War.
that's after D-Day.
No, Gears of War prequel. Yeah, it's the day after D-Day is E-Day. So
we all know there are only 26 days.
That could be cool. So that's back telling the story of like how the locusts emerged initially. That was E-Day. We got a trailer for Avowed, which is like a weird, colorful looking first person RPG. We're not getting a new Skyrim, we're not getting a new Elder Scrolls, but hey, how about the team that made Fallout New Vegas, who made Outer Worlds? They're making an RPG, a fantasy RPG. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that one. That's coming out this year in fall. So that looks awesome just because I had forgotten that it's fucking Obsidian making that, and they make very good games. So I'm excited. But I think the biggest thing was their biggest IP is the Indiana Jones game that's coming out this fall.
Is that the biggest thing?
I mean, they showed it really promisingly. I don't know. It was very not promisingly. What am I thinking of? Prominently. Thank you. I had a brain fart. Yeah, it was very prominent. And I don't know. It looks cool. I was like totally not sold on this until I saw this trailer, and then I was reminded that Machine Games is making it, and they made the Wolfenstein
I'll watch
games.
the trailer.
They made the Wolfenstein games.
Suspicious.
It looked and felt very Indiana Jones. Machine Games knows how to make a game where you beat up and kill Nazis, so that's already good. It's already a step there. People were like,
it's very first-person puzzly.
Yeah, people were like,
good.
This looks a lot like. People were like, man, looks like Uncharted, and it's like, yeah, well, Uncharted was Indiana Jones, so they're kind of getting theirs back on that one. Like, I don't know. People are like, wow, they stole that from Uncharted. I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, okay. Uncharted lifted enough
Uncharted
from fucking
stole
Indiana
it from
Jones.
Laura Croft, who stole it
Exactly,
from
like
Indiana Jones.
They're all borrowing off each other. So I don't know. Hopefully it's good. I mean, the trailer looked fun. We'll see. I hope it reviews well. But I like Machine Games a lot. Like the Wolfenstein 2, Wolfenstein and Wolfenstein 2, the New Colossus were some of my favorite games in the last few years. So I really hope that this is as good. I don't know. That's it. That's all the games basically. Ubisoft had a bunch of shit, but fuck Ubisoft. They suck. Although I did just buy a Ubisoft game on Steam. I bought Ghost Recon Wildlands because I've heard it's really fun, and it was $5.
Oh, fair.
And I bought Baldur's Gate 3 finally. On sale on Steam for $47. The cheapest I've ever seen it.
I heard you
People
can
are
have sex with a
losing
bear
a
in
life
that
there.
game.
People are losing their life to that game.
Yeah, Lance was telling me that he and his roommate played through that entire game on the PlayStation 5 and are playing through it again. So, as a game, really sucks you in.
My boss, I think, has played like 6 playthroughs,
Yeah.
including playing it with mods, like adding additional classes to the game.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, he added a mod to add the artificer class.
Yeah, so anyway, but it is 5th edition, so it sucks, but I'll deal with it. It's 5th edition's for losers.
You're 3.5.
I'm a Pathfinder boy.
I know you've been doing Pathfinder forever, but yeah.
No. They lost me at 4th. 5th is better. 5th is not terrible. I just hate how simplified some things are in it. I could go on a rant, but I won't. Let's move on. I think that's it. We've been recording for an hour 50. I don't know. You want to, Matt? You do anything cool?
No.
You cleaned out gunk?
I cleaned up old kitchen equipment that's been sitting in cardboard boxes for
from
like
when
a
you
year.
moved.
Yeah.
Nice. Anything cool?
Just a word of advice. You know how hard it is to like clean out a mixing bowl if you let it sit too long?
Yeah.
Don't mix concrete in a stainless steel mixing bowl.
Oh.
It's difficult to clean.
Well, you got to do...
But not impossible.
Get plastic wrap, put it down.
Yeah. Or just do it in some kind of like polyethylene bucket or something.
Something that's made for doing that?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't have anything else either.
Yeah, I'm good. Bye, everybody.
My fucking eyes are itching now. Did I just get allergic to something? I have to stop.
Indian.